guys, Lee and Michelle, Resistance Chicks. We're coming at you a little bit later in the evening on January 29th, 2017. It's Sunday. We thought we were finished with videos for today, but no.
I wanted to show this
Got
one to you guys tonight. I watched this a couple days ago, and I haven't had a chance to make a video about it. It's had almost 9 million views on Facebook.
That's insane.
It's a young man, and he confronts a woman protesting, and there's a few F-bombs in here. Just ignore them if you can. We might need some more volume. We have a volumizer.
Somewhere around here. Volumizer, that's a technical term. Alright, hit it.
That's the fucking problem, right? Oh my God, look at this racially inspired group from Donald Trump. No, I haven't been practiced. This is what I live. This is what I breathe. This is what I live. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. You allow Black Lives Matter on campus, but you don't allow white power on campus. Why not? It's the same shit. We both are hate groups, but neither are productive. So if you denounce one, denounce the other. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. That's what it is. I'm being honest with you, bro. I'm being honest with you. Let me tell you something. Listen, chill. But let me be honest with you. I just want to say this, right? I want to tell you something right now. African Americans make up 13% of the population, yet commit over 50% of the violent gun and drug crime in the United States.
And you don't think there's a problem?
No, that's true. 55%.
Okay.
Right? So 95% of that is to other blacks. So me as an African American, I have a 2,000 time more likelihood to be shot and killed by another black man leaving this event than I do by a white person, a police officer, and a neo-Nazi.
So you don't think that's a
2,000 times more percent. I mean, we're killing us as African Americans, we're killing each other. That's what the real fucking problem is.
Yo, this is a reverse mirror. She supposed to be talking.
I'm being honest with you, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. This is me and my brother right here, we gotta stand together, man. Oh, but listen, I'm being honest. If Obama would have stood up and said, look, we're killing each other, we've got a problem within the African American community, he would have been phenomenal. But he's gonna make it white people and
Of course, you walked away.
yeah, that's the you left, man. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest.
Young motherfucker.
I'm just being honest. I just had to say that, man. I'm being honest. I'm just completely honest. I'm 2,000 times more likely to be shot and killed by another black man leaving this event tonight, than I am any other race, color, creed, or police officer. That's where the fucking pain comes, man. That's sad. I can't hang out in black neighborhoods. I can't do that. I can't because it's a risk for me. It's a risk. It's sad. There's a problem within the African American community and it needs to be addressed. Obama didn't address it because he wanted the black vote, and Al Sharpton didn't address it because he's making millions of dollars off of victimizing African Americans. Trust me. I know how that is.
Isn't that just awesome?
He said it best. Two white girls from Ohio can't really chime in there. You just have to take his word for it.
Yeah, I just to sum up what he said, if you didn't hear it, he was just confronting this woman who was saying, you know, holding a sign, lock him up. And what he was trying to get across was, I am not going to be killed more likely by a police officer or a white person or a neo-Nazi or anything. The black community is killing the black community. And if you look at it as a whole, one of the things that hurts me thinking about it is that all the Planned Parenthoods are in African American communities, and that Margaret Sanger said, we want to get ministers out there to promote birth control and to promote abortion because we don't, but we don't want it to get out.
Because they knew that the ministers would be able to reach, they had a voice and they would be heard.
We don't want it to get out that we want to exterminate the black population.
Right.
And, sorry, I know you guys say, don't touch your nose. Sometimes when you're, I don't know, just So
Alex Jones always pulls his ear.
He's got a microphone or something to do.
Maybe you have a microphone in your nose.
What is this? It's true. When I drive downtown, it is not racist to say there are certain communities that it's not safe to go in.
Oh, forget it.
And those are predominantly African American neighborhoods.
Right.
When we drove downtown, I hadn't been downtown in a while. We got lost, and there were all these African Americans just kind of wandering around not doing anything. And my heart literally hurt inside.
Right.
These people don't have a future or a hope.
Right.
But politicians are happy to put them on welfare, to put them in some government housing and to get their vote, because there's that much money in being a top politician that it's okay to keep people in the inner cities. And you have to keep them in the inner cities.
Yeah.
Because that's where you can keep people, if you can keep people in
They're
close,
dependent upon the system.
and then if you keep people in a cluster, then you can keep the news from getting out. But when the black people, when you move out and you start to live in the country, and you start to maybe in some rural areas, and you start to grow things for yourself, you start to think for yourself, and you start to recognize that some of these economic policies aren't working well for you and not working well for the inner cities.
Right.
The inner cities right now are dying. And somebody put it best. They moved black people from the plantation into the cities, and the cities are the plantations. And I think about it all the time. There's no fresh air. There's no stars. There's no grounds. There's ground to plant things in. There's no life there.
Right.
So
The inner city is death. For no matter what your race or creed is. I have a lot of people that, I just love living in the city. I'm telling you, it is death there.
So if you don't have a job and a good paying job, everything you have has to be bought and brought in.
Right.
You're like on a space station almost.
You guys, we bring this to you so many times. My mom was just talking about it today. She woke up this morning and she's like, you know what? God was just really speaking to me that Deuteronomy 28 is the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I got to tell you guys, as ministers, when you go out there and you preach the gospel and Jesus' salvation, that he saves you to what? The New Jerusalem is wonderful, and we all want that, and we will all get there. But guess what? Most people have 40, 50, 60 more years left on this earth, and what is there for them? And I'm telling you, Deuteronomy 28 and the blessings that are laid out in it.
Talks about your field, your crops, your plants, your fruit of your womb.
Things that God created this earth for us to enjoy, for us to partake in.
So we have a group, it's called on Facebook, it's called God's Little Acres, and we promote urban farming, because if you can't get out, let's get the farms into the inner cities. Let's get the farms in. Let's take every abandoned plot of land. And
every rooftop that we have up, you've got to be doing something.
I understand we may not be able to get everybody out right now, right away, but let's get the greenery in. Let's get people and it's happening. And I want you to be encouraged, because there are a lot of urban farming, but there's a lot of rules. We need to get rid of all the stupid rules.
Regulations.
You got to be able to have chickens. You got to be able to have animals in there. You got to be
It's so cool in Cincinnati. You're allowed to have chickens, which is like amazing to me.
And keep bees, and there's a lot of things you can do to reconnect with nature and things like that. And if the black community wants to rise above, first of all, what happened with slavery was wrong, but we can't dwell on that.
Right.
And you can't dwell on that, as hard as it is not to.
Right.
Should everyone have gotten the 40 acres and a mule, we would not have been in this situation today. They
Explain
were
that. Some people don't
supposed
know what
to
that
get
is.
40 acres and a mule at the end of the war. All the plantations were supposed to be divvied up.
Right.
And I understand the need for reparations, although it doesn't necessarily work now.
Right.
But we can redo it. And they always say if you can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, or teach a man to fish. But you also have to give them the tools and get rid of all restrictions. Like, we live in a township where our particular township, you can't have chickens, but we're under a different Ohio law that exempts us from that. But everybody around us wants to keep chickens, and there's secret chicken keepers. You should be able to keep animals wherever you're at.
Absolutely.
You should be able to grow things. There are laws and banning farming. And what does this have to do with this young man here? Why is it that he is scared to go in black neighborhoods? Why are they dangerous? Because where you don't have life and growing things, then you have death.
Exactly.
And if you have to rely on money, then you're stuck relying on crime.
And greed.
And you've got the drugs that go with the drugs and the prostitution is all surrounding around having to have this paper dollar. But if you don't need this paper dollar, if you can plant something in the ground and you can take your potatoes and make more potatoes,
so take your pigs and make more pigs.
There are answers for the black community. Okay,
there are the same answers for the white community. But the white community just believes that work is below them. We do not. If you saw our videos from yesterday, we were out moving like 500 wheelbarrows worth of wood chips.
Well, and then we have to be real, and that white people are more likely to own property. And like I said, they took the black people and they brought them into the cities.
Yeah,
and they
on
get stuck.
purpose.
They get stuck, whereas white people and this isn't a racial issue, but it is a racial issue.
Right.
You have to recognize that there are powers and principalities that want to divide us,
Yeah.
that wants to keep people down. The Bible says we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but rulers and principalities. And there are demonic realms and leaders who want to keep black people down because y'all are anointed by God to do great things.
Amen.
All right? So God wants you to get out, and my prayer is that you get out and that you have families. There is a Facebook group for black homeschoolers, and there was this wonderful comment on there that said,
Love it.
"I'm a black homeschooler. I belong to it because I like to read what they're saying, just because I like them. I'm not like one just like watching. Hey, can I just hang out right here? And we'll watch
Yeah, whatever.
Because you guys are awesome. Because it's kind of a niche right now, and I want the black community to embrace homeschooling because you can teach your children. God has anointed you. When a black mom or black dad grasps onto to something that God has given them, they can run with it. And that's what this particular African American has said. God has anointed me to teach my children. I don't need the government.
Right.
Okay? But we have to. Sometimes you need help up and out.
Right.
And I'm praying that we can figure out how to get people up and out,
Right.
and teach them how to fish,
Yeah.
right, and give them the tools to fish.
Yeah.
And I don't blame one single black person for being stuck in the city. You were put there
On purpose.
by these slave owners way back here. But
Yeah.
we can get you out. Let's stop dwelling on it. Let's not have racial division. Let's not try to just get extra money. We want you to have land and live and be free and homeschool your kids and have farms.
And
that's
free
what
to
this-
worship God and live a life that does that.
Right, and I don't know how I don't know, I heard this kid, and that's what came out of me, was you need a farm. Black Lives Matter, you need to farm. You need to homeschool, you need to...
But you guys
realize
will
your
hear that a lot
potential.
from us. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Muslim, whatever. Y'all need to farm. You're going to hear that a lot around here.
Right, right.
Just because that's what, and it's not just farming, that's the word we have to give it, but it's all about getting back in touch with God made the earth
See these?
for us.
They're for working, for doing things, for touching
and
things.
for enjoying it.
Right.
When you sit behind a desk in a cubicle breathing filtered air all day long,
Right.
it kills you. You got these fluorescent lights shining down on you and you're wasting away, and then you need the drugs
But
of the,
when you
of the
look
drug
at-
company to make you better
Technically,
again.
predominantly black people are stuck in the inner cities.
Yeah.
And to get out, you have to be a pro football player, you have to be an athlete, you have to be able to
Super academic.
academic or something along those lines. Whereas you shouldn't have to be lifted out by some great miracle.
Right.
Okay, we want a mass exodus.
Yes.
You know, if our government's going to be doing
Let
anything
my
instead
people
of the welfare we get every year, let's give everybody a couple acres. I mean, let's just be done with it.
John Locke
Exactly.
said, "The earth is for everybody."
John Locke said the earth is for everybody.
So everybody deserves a piece
Everybody
of the earth.
deserves a piece of the earth.
Absolutely. I think that sums it up. That way it's way longer than we intended for this little
We need our
short
timer
video.
here.
Oops.
All right.
Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks. Please like and comment and share these on your social media page. Get the word out. And start your own YouTube channels. We love to see the resistance rising up against what they've all said.
That's what I was thinking about today when I was in the shower. I think when I'm in the shower. BLM, yes, Black Lives Matter. When we watch the Omarosa and when we see a black person come up and speak, what I want to change it to is BVM, Black Voices Matter. Okay? When you see this young man, why was it important that he spoke? Because he was black.
Right.
Let's be honest. Big Joe, why was it so awesome that he spoke? Because this was this intelligent,
Yeah.
God-filled, wise black man, and you just want to hear him speak all the time.
Right.
Omarosa, she was able to shut them down because she was a black woman.
Right.
Okay, black voices matter. And I will say this again, and you'll probably hear me say it over and over again, because you're going to see me bring up black voices, because for some reason, they matter a little bit more.
Not that they matter a little bit more, but they are more effectual.
That's what I
sometimes.
mean to say.
Yeah.
They're more effectual. At this point in time,
Where we're at.
your voice is more effectual.
Right.
Okay, so when I say they matter more,
People are listening to you guys. They are listening. They are listening. They are listening. And it's not just that they are listening.
This has been shared 9 million times. Don't tell me this is a scene. Don't tell me this is a racist country. White people all over Facebook are viewing this and sharing this.
You mean that that's not just 9 million black people that watched it?
Stop it.
And listen, and it's like we talked about in our video the other day. If you're a minority or you're in a situation where what you're saying would not normally be said by you, one of the things we've gotten a couple of comments from you guys, you know who you are, here on Resistance Chicks, and we've got men of God rising up, speaking truth and speaking the word of God. And I have to tell you, we haven't had men of God rising up, speaking real truth in our country anymore. And so when you have people where this is not normally done, your voice matters. Right. So it spreads across. If you've got an older lady, let's say you're like 65 years old, you don't normally say something, start putting out videos, because I guarantee you people are going to be listening to you, right? Because of your minority, the voice that's not usually heard. The voice of the voiceless needs to start getting out, and it needs to start now, and it's happening, and I want you guys to get excited about it.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
I was cold, all alone. No place for home every day, so afraid. But you call